My life is miserable. I have spent the past 2 weeks in this basement selling knives, but luckily not anymore. I quit the knife selling business.
So now you're not even selling knives.
No. Now I'm just regular unemployed. I'm not even doing the job.
You're just sitting in the basement.
Yes.
And that's an improvement.
Yeah, I was for a one viewer, maybe half a viewer. I recently got an ad in my mailbox like requesting summer work for college students, and it was offering $17.50 an hour, which sounds like a scam, and it was a scam. I was brought in to sell knives to people over the phone, and in person. I was supposed to go to people's houses, and for those of you who probably don't know, I have a physical disability, and I have very messed up looking hands. So I think it's pretty ironic that they hired me to sell knives, which was a red flag that it was a scam. So I left. Fuck that shit.
Knives aren't a product I would buy over the phone.
Yeah, but here's the thing. They were really good knives. They like, okay, so I walk in, and there's just a bunch of knives everywhere, and I'm like, all right, this is a scam. And then she shows us the knives, and they're really good quality knives.
Did she show you the thing where they cut through a penny?
Yes, of course.
Cutco, baby. They've been running the exact same presentation since I was in high school.
Yeah, they had this, like, video that they showed us with all these, like, sad-looking old people going, man, this made my month. I got these knives, and now my life is completely different. Look at this fucking potato peeler. It cuts potatoes super quick.
I got to talk to a nice lady. I haven't been engaged in conversation in 3.5 years. So when this young woman showed up with a binder, of course, I spent $15,000 on spoons.
Wait, was your manager an attractive young woman, too?
Well, I mean, that's just kind of how these multi-level marketing scams are. They use, like, the Scientology recruiting business model, where you have some just hypnotically attractive young brown-haired woman come in, or blonde woman come in, and talk to you about these knives, and basically pitch it as a religion. You get it on the ground floor with this nice business. Yes.
She was super passionate. She was like, this company changed my life. And she was almost crying with how happy she was about these stinking knives.
I was on drugs and on the street, and then I tried to cut a penny, and I couldn't do it. And then I found the right knives.
And then I found Cutco. Now I can cut through pennies whenever I want.
Yeah, they've been running the same
knives
exact
to parties
scam for decades.
That's impressive, because it hooked me in, man. Like, they said $17.50 an hour for an appointment. I was like, sign me up. Like, I will sell you my soul. But then I went to so I did an interview, and it was just me and this really attractive woman, and she was selling the company, and I was sold. And then I went to the meeting, like the first training day, and the only people that showed up was another guy my age and a 33-year-old man who admitted that he was a drug addict in the training.
I'm actively here for drug money.
Well, he was
I think that would make him like a really motivated employee, honestly.
Yeah. Well, he said something about how he was like, yeah, I tried working for this company when I was in my 20s, but I was addicted to drugs. But now I'm almost off the drugs, so I thought I'd give it another try. give Cutco another shot. And
I've got my priorities different.
Yeah, and the girl was like 22, and it was just so weird because the dude was like 35 and a drug addict, and it was just a really uncomfortable situation. It was like, my manager is this college girl. I'm a college student. Who's more qualified here? This is a disaster.
Not the drug addict.
No.
The one who isn't an active junkie. Probably.
And the other dude was super handsome, and I was like, why are you selling? Not actually, you know what? He'd probably be pretty good at it. He was a handsome lad.
Folks, welcome to the show. This is the
Fuck you, Dave.
it's not fully named yet, but I've been calling it. I don't think Jacob likes the name at all. I've been calling it the Chris Benoit Weekly Podcast.
I like it, but I just think that like once we get to 10 episodes, someone's gonna see this, say Chris Benoit Weekly episode 10, and they're gonna be like, well, what new things is there about Chris Benoit? He's been dead. What new news does he have to offer after 10 episodes?
Tupac has created multiple albums since his death. So I think there's news, I think there's reviews, I think there could be some undiscovered matches from the Pegasus Kid.
Man, I wish we did this years ago, because at a time, I was when I was a child 2 years ago, I was under the belief that I thought Chris Benoit was innocent, because I saw that stupid YouTube video, Conspiracy Theory, and I was like, he didn't do it. He's innocent. Kevin Sullivan did it. He's the murderer.
You were a truther.
I wanted him to be innocent. And then I was like, oh no, he just killed his kid.
So like in the leading Chris Benoit conspiracy theory world, what is there like how did Kevin Sullivan do it? What was his motivation? What was the murder weapon? Kind of guide me through the prevailing thought from the thought leaders in the Chris Benoit truther community.
Okay, so I'm pretty sure the one theory that was interesting was they said when they found Benoit's body, it had been moved like 3 times, which was sketchy. Then they said they were like, oh, Kevin Sullivan did it because Kevin Sullivan was Nancy's ex-husband and he was jealous, so he broke him and he killed Nancy, he killed the kid, and then he killed Benoit, which doesn't sound plausible. I don't know why I believed it. The YouTube video was just like made in Windows Movie Maker, and it was just spitting off all these facts that might not even have been true. I was just like, oh, it's in a Times New Roman font. It must be true. Must be true.
Anytime I see that blue background with that white text.
Yes, that's exactly what it was.
I assume the truth, dude. It looks professional.
Yeah, dude. No transitions at all. No like fadeaways. Just he's innocent. Here's why he's innocent. You believe it. Like and subscribe.
Have you ever heard Kevin Sullivan talk? Have you ever watched like any? You talk about a man who I believe would be horrible at plotting a murder. I don't think he'd be able to execute. His brains have been thoroughly scrambled.
That's good. Well, they've been scrambled because he had to kill his ex-wife and his kid and Chris Benoit. And that's why Chris Benoit's in.
He used the rest of his brain power on those murders, and now is just completely retarded.
Oh, man, dude. There was like a creepy phone call that I guess he made like after he did the murders but before he killed himself to, I can't remember. I think he called Chavo, or Chavo called him and was like, hey, man, why aren't you... Oh, you just no-showed the show, dude. Where you at? And he was like, oh, I'm a little tied up at the moment. Or something like that.
I'm currently hanging from a Bowflex.
They're like, Benoit, we know you love your Bowflex.
The crippler always hanging out with that Bowflex.
Oh, man, this is a good segue into Raw, which I will be honest, I did not really watch.
Now, I had to do, I was on the road last night, folks. This is, as far as I know, the only podcast allegedly dedicated to wrestling hosted by 2 people who are allegedly stand-up comedians. So I had a double shot in Michigan last night. I had to go to Madison Heights and then Flint. So I wasn't fucking watching Raw. I watched the Sami Zayn, Bobby Lashley segment this morning. It's like, it's not even... Alright, so in the 90s when they would do segments like this, and if you didn't see the show, Bobby Lashley's new thing is he loves his sisters. He's got these sisters that he's way into, and he talks about the sisters, and he loves the sisters. These 3 sisters. So he's feuding with Sami Zayn. And he brought out 3 dudes in drag, portraying the sisters, portraying it like, I've got the sisters. And they're trashing Bobby Lashley. And in the 90s, when they would do segments like this with Mark Henry, you could utilize 2 very important weapons in terrible sketch comedy. You had 2 weapons, sexism and racism. But you can't do sexism or racism anymore on television. So it's just a terrible skit, and the guys don't even really look like guys. They just kind of look like ugly women.
One kind of looked like a girl. The one had to convince her.
They just, aside from the one with the mustache who looked like Primo Cologne, who I thought was Primo Cologne for a long time. They look like ugly women. So if you're in the crowd, you might have believed that's one of Lashley's sisters.
Dude, okay, so you can watch the 3-hour show on TV, or then there's the Hulu version, which is like an hour. I didn't even do that. I just watched the YouTube clips that they put up every week. So I watched like a 20-minute version of the show, and I saw that, and I was very confused. I don't know I didn't get it. I mean, at the very end, like, Lashley's, like, juggling that dude on the broomstick, and he's, like, beating up his nuts, and then he throws him, and I don't really like Lashley. I never really got the point. I like Sami Zayn. I don't like Bobby Lashley. He's just a big bald dude, but he wears a headband. That's it.
Lashley is such a strange thing to me, because I was in your camp 100%. I never got him at all. I never saw the appeal. I never thought he had any kind of a personality.
Yeah, because you got people like Lesnar who could do the same thing.
Yeah, but like his second run in TNA, he really started slowing down. They turned him heel. He got really good on promos. He had a really good presence and was having good matches. And I don't know if maybe he's just a guy who's built for a soundstage. Like, if you sent him to NXT, he would be great, like he was in TNA. But he has been a complete, just an unmitigated disaster.
Yeah, I don't think it translates. Like, him in these big arenas, he just doesn't look like anything special. Like, especially next, maybe that's why he did so well in TNA, because he was around, I'd say, more average talent in compared to the WWE, because when Lashley's in there with Strowman, with Lesnar, with just all these big giant men, he doesn't look as special that he can do a standing suplex. It's not that impressive.
And he looks invisible out there. Like, he has no presence. Like, he's shrinking. He's like a bad open micer. He's looking down at the ground. He looks embarrassed. Like, he looks invisible. It's hard to concentrate on him.
Yeah, and he just looks boring. He just wears like black trunks, and there's like no design on it. He's just kind of there. But I watched the Braun Strowman Balor match, which was actually pretty entertaining. I mean, shocker, Balor lost. That would have been ridiculous if he won, even though I like him. But I mean, Raw's just not worth watching to me anymore. And yeah, there are some segments that are pretty cool, and I hate to sound super bitter about it because I really love wrestling, but so much of it is just a slog to get through.
God, they got all that money. Raw got triple the TV rights that they were getting now for the next 5 years. And they got $1 billion for SmackDown. Think about this, Jacob. Think about being a Fox executive, watching that Sami Zayn Lashley thing, and being like, yeah, that's worth $1 billion.
Yeah, like...
let me go get my checkbook.
Even the best things in wrestling, you're just like, alright, that's good, but is that worth $1 billion? Like, oh man, that was a cool... Okay, like last week there was that Kevin Owens Seth Rollins match. That was pretty good, but $1 billion? I love it. I still wouldn't give it $1 billion.
Capitalism, though, Jacob, if you have not noticed, is completely out of control. And if you have infinite money, why not spend $1 billion on wrestling?
Fuck it.
Like, if you, like, at this point, it's all monopoly money.
That's true. It's
with these tax cuts, I mean, that there are billions of dollars funneled more to these giant media conglomerates, so why not?
Yeah. Fuck it. It's all just ones and zeros.
$1 billion.
For wrestling. And we like wrestling, and it just doesn't fit. I'd pay $1,000.
And like wrestling, it's really strange to me, because I hear a lot of talk about, like, we're in a boom period, right? Like, oh, wrestling's really, it feels like it's on the upswing.
Yeah, there's and everything except WWE.
There's mainstream appeal, and there's all that. But if you just look at TV viewership, right? Raw right now is where WCW was when it died. Like, in terms of just the raw numbers of people watching the show on Monday nights on television. I
didn't know that. That's I didn't know there was that. A lot of weeks,
they're lower than WCW at the end. So, it's not this super popular hot thing. And if the global economy was the way it was now, back then, WCW never would have gone out of business.
Yeah, but I do think it isn't a boom in the sense that, like, other companies besides the WWE are relevant in wrestling. Like, New Japan's super popular, Ring of Honor's super popular, and all that shit. The WWE hasn't gotten any more popular; it's gotten less popular. But everything else is getting more popular.
But
so I think
super popular. It's like those companies are getting popular on a kind of a smaller scale, though. So to me, super popular is, you're on cable television with 5 million viewers. You're running weekly house shows. You have, you know, a pay-per-view business, or I guess now a thriving streaming business. You're like a mainstream thing. These companies are getting, they're a lot better at now of getting blood from a turnip. So the fans who are into this are super into this, and they are incredibly obsessed with this. And wrestling isn't just a TV show; it's a lifestyle brand for a lot of people now, and they follow it religiously. And it's more or less the only thing that they follow. But it's not creating
a casual
fans necessarily.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, most of the people who watch wrestling in America, besides the WWE, are all hardcore wrestling fans. There's not really a casual fan base for Ring of Honor. You know, you don't see like tons of children and just random people going to Ring of Honor shows. The people that go to those shows are people who are really invested already, I'd say. So, I get what you mean.
Nia Jax. Did you watch
fat.
who is fat, by the way? Did you watch the Nia Jax Ronda Rousey contract signing?
I didn't. Did you?
Neither one showed much.
Ronda Rousey surprised me at WrestleMania. I thought she was pretty cool. I don't think her promos are good, but I thought she was good in that match. She beat up Triple H. That was pretty cool. And kind of unrealistic, but still pretty cool.
She would beat the piss out of Triple H. Now, if they had a real fight...
No, that's true. Yeah, she's an actually trained...
Judo, baby.
She's an Olympic athlete, correct? She was like judo and shit.
Yeah, a bronze medalist in judo, and Triple H. Those are all show muscles. And he's all old and hurt. Like Ronda Rousey, which is, by the way, if they're looking to set records for the network, Ronda Rousey, Triple H in the octagon.
I'd do numbers, even off pure controversy alone. But Oh wow, I feel like such a fucking mark that I literally was just like, yeah, Triple H could beat up the Olympic athlete. He's the game, dude. He's got. She couldn't take a pedigree onto the mat, dude. Ronda Rousey can't fight.
Dude, he's got a sledgehammer.
Dude, yeah, I mean, I can't believe I just said that. Yeah, Ronda would definitely kick his ass. I'm autistic.
He's the game. The king of games.
He rides a motorcycle to the ring while wearing chainmail.
What if X-Pac got involved, or the Road Dogg? He's got a lot of friends. I play.
Yeah. X-Pac could be the shady referee.
I was at an indie a few years ago. It came to, I believe it was Fremont, Ohio. Yeah, it was Fremont. Hybrid Pro would run these big-time money-losing shows in Fremont. And they brought in X-Pac one time. And we were sitting right at the rail. And he got chopped in the throat by the local indie guy. And he couldn't breathe for real. And he falls to the ground on the ramp, and he's turning purple. And I was there with my girlfriend, who's a nurse, and I was like jumping around and pointing at her, like she's a nurse, she's a nurse, and she was just like shaking her head, no. So she actively tried to murder X-Pac. Good,
your girlfriend is a fucking hero.
They just keep pouring water bottles on him. So not only has he been hit in the throat, it is like dying on this ramp.
They're trying to drown him.
They're trying to waterboard him.
If we keep talking about wrestling, I'm going to make you tell the Stacy Keibler story.
Oh, I can tell the Stacy Keibler story right now, actually.
All right, do it. The world needs to know this.
Stacy Keibler story. I don't know if they still do this, but back in the day, they would do... for the on-sale events, the first day of live ticket sales, before you bought everything on the internet, you'd go line up at the box office. And to drum up attractions for that first day, the first day of ticket sales is very big, they would send a wrestler. So one day for Nitro at the Hara Arena, WCW sent Stacy Keibler, who is out of this world beautiful. She dated George Clooney. She's one of the most beautiful women in the world. And she was wearing, at the time, what was her gimmick on TV. She was Miss Hancock. She was dressed up as Miss Hancock. That was her original name in WCW.
Very suggestive, very subtle.
We're going to call her Hancock. So... she had this little black skirt and like a little cut off white business shirt and these glasses. She was in full gimmick. And she came over and she was doing a picture opportunities. So she came over to me and she put her arm around me. And I immediately came in my pants. I just immediately, and I'm pretty sure that she knew, because it was arm around the shoulder, and then arm ripped away to the next morbidly obese teen. And
that you've told me that story before, and I think that is the funniest thing I've ever heard. I can just imagine little teenage sweaty Dave Crumbley wearing his Nike shoes and his plaid shorts, just walking up to Stacy Keibler.
Bucket hat.
Fucking hat. God damn it, dude. That's great. I am so happy you put that story out there for the world to see. And you know what?
I've ever come in my pants in my illustrious 31 years of being alive.
Well, that's an honor then, Stacy Keibler. If you're listening, which of course you are, you're definitely listening to Chris Benoit Weekly. You did a solid to my man Dave.
Stacy, if you're trying to fuck, get at me. You let me know. You slide in.
I don't know why George Clooney didn't marry her. Like, what was he gonna go up from this? Like,
He wanted some humanitarian bitch.
Did he ever get married? I thought he had...
I think he did. I think he finally married. I think she's like, I don't know, a war reporter. Or, sounds gay.
I'm looking up this bitch. Let's see this. Oh, yeah, he got married.
Whoever it is did not make me come in my pants.
Yeah, she's all right. She's not Stacy Keibler, you know. Which is a... Oh, she's the founder of WikiLeaks.
What?
Oh, I am dyslexic. Hold on.
She's Julian Assange.
Yeah, no.
He's gay.
I read that too fast. Her clients include Julian Assange, the founder of WikiLeaks.
Okay.
Sorry, false information, fake news. We got to start over.
Julian Assange is a fascinating guy because he's been locked in that Ecuadorian embassy now for like 7 or 8 years, right? It's a long time.
Yeah, I haven't heard about him in a long time.
On the run from the Swiss for rape allegations, I think. So.
So he's not a cool dude. He's just.
Well, I mean, who knows? I wasn't there. I don't know if Julian Assange did anything or didn't do anything. I know at the time there was a lot of people who would love to have that man in custody because they don't want their shit getting out there. So, who knows? But he has been given asylum and has been hanging out in that Ecuador embassy now for a very long time. Is like what just logistically his day-to-day life? What the hell do you do at an embassy all day? Besides post online and go progressively more insane.
He probably reads some books. Maybe he's working on his own, you know?
If you go outside, you get arrested. They take you to prison.
He looks kind of sketchy. He looks like the villain from The Hunger Games.
He fucking rules. He has the coolest hair. My hair goal is eventually, as a man that started going gray at the age of 13 years old, I would one day like to just go full Assange.
Oh my God! I don't think you should do that. I'd advise. I'm picturing Dave Crumbley with a white mane.
I'm going full Sephiroth.
Not doing it for me. I think you should stick with the brown.
Squaresoft, baby.
Speaking of crazy people, I wanted to talk about how Christian's about to be homeless.
Yeah, Christian Weston Chandler he put out a plea for people to buy his things. He has run out of meat. It sounds
okay.
worrisome.
I have a theory here. Recently, one of his cats ran away and the other one died. So I think he's eating his cats.
That's possible.
Okay, so for the viewers, we have none, but it's fun to say that we have some. For the viewers who don't know, Christian Weston Chandler is the most fascinating man on the face of the earth. If you Google his name, there are thousands and thousands of articles following this man's every step. He created a popular popular in quotations, a popular webcomic called Sonichu, and it is great. It is my favorite thing in the world. And he's about to be homeless. So donate to his eBay, buy his shit. Help the man out.
Sonic Chew is so funny to me because I had a friend in high school who was autistic. And he made a similar creation, Lugia Yoshi, which was a combination of a Lugia, the Pokemon, and Yoshi, the dinosaur. So it was just a Yoshi with wings.
You say Yoshi right, but you say Lugia completely wrong. I think that's funny.
Lugia?
Yeah, it's Lugia. They say it in the movie.
Which one?
One of the 30. There's like 40 movies. I know they say it.
I had the Pokemon Christmas album as a child.
Well, good for you. I hope your parents had a happy marriage, and I hope
they did not.
Maybe that's why, because their son was a fucking nerd.
Look, listen, dude. First off, I'm a poon hound. All right.
Of course.
I love to fuck. All right. You get me out there. You get me out on the battlefield. I can't
the battlefield
stop fucking.
sex.
Yeah. The sexual battlefield.
But you were talking about autistic kids. There's a kid that I know, I won't say his name, but he is autistic, and he hates Chris Chan, but like genuinely hates him. Like, he tweets the meanest shit at him. I'm gonna read some. His name is, let's say his name is Dylan, and Dylan is an autistic kid. He's a really nice guy, but he's autistic, and he'll tweet. Okay, so the other day he tweeted at Chris Chan. I'm on his Twitter right now, and he said, I guess Chris Chan tweeted, "Hey BronyCon, hey BronyCon, you should have me at your convention for free because I am poor," along the lines of that. So he tweeted at Chris Chan, and he said, "You have extreme laziness. I feel like you are the representation of sloth, one of the 7 deadly sins. Also gluttony and lust and pride and envy and wrath and greed. You have committed all of the 7 deadly sins on numerous occasions, and if you believe in God, you will know that you are bound to hell and have no escape. If you truly believe in God, you say you do, then you will know that your fate is sealed."
Owned.
Yeah, dude.
What an autistic takedown, by the way.
He
That
was
is
so
beautiful.
angry.
You
And
have
all the
committed-
sins are in caps. Like he said, like, you have committed gluttony, lust, and they're all in caps. It's great.
Oh, that rules. That's really good.
That just shows that even the autistic community has turned their back on Chris Chan. Like, nobody's on his side.
I don't know if there's any communities other than the Sonic Chew fans who haven't turned their back on Christian Weston Chandler.
Are there really any Sonichu fans, though? Like,
No,
I
there are
think
not.
it's funny.
No, I thought about this a little. Like, if Chris Chan has one unironic fan, I don't know, there's probably some, like, super SJW type who's like, the fat autistic racist community has been held down for too long. There might be one.
Yeah, but I doubt there's someone who's like, oh, these are great comics. I love the story.
They're following the canon.
Yeah, they're like, oh, yeah, this makes perfect sense. I like the plot. It kind of reminds me of Black Mirror, you know? It's like this, it's a similar thing.
It's a thinker.
Yeah. Oh my God, Christian. I found out about him a couple years ago, and I check that stupid quickie at least 4 or 5 times a week. Like, it's just like a habit. It never works. It's, for some reason, it is like the worst, the most poorly upkeeped website. It never works. I'm trying to get on it right now, and it won't.
Yeah, it goes down constantly. Probably because it has too much content on it. Because I would say Chris Chan and L. Ron Hubbard are the 2 most documented human beings who have ever lived.
Speaking of L. Ron Hubbard, I'm glad you brought him up. I just watched the Going Clear documentary. I didn't finish it. I'm about an hour and a half in, and it is insane. I had no idea.
Scientology's wild.
It is just like, so the beginning of the movie, it's just like Tom Cruise talking to these people, and it's a little weird, but nothing you can't handle. And then all of a sudden, the whole audience turns, including Tom Cruise, they turn and they salute a giant picture of L. Ron Hubbard, which has just been casted into frame. You don't see it until they just turn to salute him.
L. Ron Hubbard, who has been dead since 1986.
And he's okay. So the documentary, they didn't make him out to be a good dude. He seemed like a fucking nut job.
Yeah,
who, like, kidnapped his own children, and oh my goodness.
He kidnapped his own children, and he would send letters to the ex-wife.
Yeah, saying that the child was dead.
Is dead, or like pictures of like, I'm cutting her arms off right now.
What a man. It's
L.
just
Ron
like,
Hubbard was wild.
Yeah, and like so many people believe it. So the whole document for the first part of the documentary, they're just talking about this tier system, and it's all talking about like how it was designed for self-improvement, and then all of a sudden it's like, all right, you're at like level 30. Hey, there's this guy Xenu, right? And Xenu created the world or whatever, and all this shit just comes out of nowhere. And
OT3. See, it starts off as sort of like a, any kind of self-help program. Here's a communication course. Give us $20 and we'll bring you in and teach you how to talk a little better, teach you how to communicate a little better. And then by the time you're like $300,000 into this, that's when the tales of aliens come in.
And you're just like, well, I've already spent all this money. It's true. It's got to be. Of course it's true.
Yeah, it's not like so many people believe in it, because at Scientology's peak, it had about 50,000 people involved. Now they're at about 15,000 people worldwide. But those 15,000 people are kind of like the wrestling fan principle. Those 15,000 people are really into Scientology. And
they will never stop.
Yeah, and either have money to prop this thing up, or like billionaires, or are they're just kind of, unpaid slave labor who came in from Siberia or something with the prospect of, come live in America, and then they just steal their passports, keep them as slaves.
Dude. And like Tom Cruise is like, didn't you compared Tom Cruise and like John Travolta to bishops in like the Scientology community. They're like a big deal.
Yeah, Tom Cruise, this is the thing, when you see those magazines at the checkout counter, the tabloids, and they'll be like, is Tom Cruise thinking about leaving Scientology? No, he's not. He's never going to leave. Because, like, if you're a Catholic, if you're listening to this, you're a Catholic, you're one of billions of people. Tom Cruise is basically the vice pope of Scientology. And the Scientology organizational board, number 1 is L. Ron Hubbard, who's been dead since 1986. Number 2 is David Miscavige, who won the power struggle to take over Scientology. Yeah, he seems
creepy, dude. He seemed like a creepy-ass dude.
And then number 3 is Tom Cruise. So Tom Cruise isn't just a Scientologist. He is in a leadership position within Scientology, has benefited immensely from the slave labor provided to him from Scientology to build airplane hangars and houses and custom motorcycles and buses and airplanes and all the perks. So if he were to leave Scientology, that creates a whole web of, hey, Tom, what is your liability? What were your actions? What do you know? And that's not going to happen.
Yeah, true, man. He probably knows some crazy shit. But here's my conspiracy theory. Okay, Tom Cruise was in Mission Impossible. What if he's just like undercover and he's trying to rise through the ranks, and then once he becomes the number 1 head of Scientology, he's gonna like blow up that big building that they got?
He blows up Big Blue?
Yeah, oh my, can you imagine that day comes? It's like Tom Cruise single-handedly infiltrates and destroys Scientology with his co-conspirator John Travolta.
Dun 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 dun. That would be pretty cool. I don't see it happening.
Yeah.
My man is in deep, as is John Travolta. But
what level are they at? Are they at like OT 30 or whatever?
They would be. I don't know if OT 8. I had a scary rabbit hole phase where this was all I read about. So I'm not sure if OT 8 has been officially released. So they're both OT 7 at least. Now, if OT 8 exists in any practical form, Tom Cruise would have done it. So he has the highest rank of Scientology that you can have.
Yeah, he's the equivalent to a maxed out World of Warcraft character.
Oh yeah, he has all the perks, he has all the gear, he's got the legendary mounts, he's running straight purple. He's
the god level Thetan, isn't that what they call it? They're called, yeah. Thetans are the spirits that like infest their body or whatever. Yeah, that makes sense, man. I don't know, dude. It's all making a weird amount of sense to me. I think I gotta go pay a visit.
So trillions of years ago, we were all just kind of these ethereal spirits that floated in the air, right, and just peacefully kind of hung out in kind of a suspended bliss. And then there was this guy, Lord Xenu, who was a real prick. And he took all of the beautiful thetans that were just kind of floating in the air, and he captured them, he froze them, and he threw them all in a bunch of volcanoes. And then he dropped hydrogen bombs into the volcanoes. And then our spirits all escaped, and were just all crazy and manic and wild. And these body thetans, there are billions of body thetans that attach themselves to your person, that are the source of all anxiety and irrationality. And only through the process of Scientology can you exercise these body thetans, these millions of body thetans that are clinging to you and making you crazy and causing your failures. And that's why you're fat, and that's why you're not as successful as you should be, as wealthy as you should be, as healthy as you should be. You get rid of these, and then you're a pure operating thetan. You're operating at a thetan level 7, and you see the world clearly. You have superpowers, perfect vision. You can fly. You're doing
Will
good.
my dick get bigger?
Absolutely. My
Cool.
favorite thing about Scientology is OT3 is supposed to offer perfect vision, right? Because you're an operating thetan. But then everybody holds up their giant plaques that you get to celebrate it, and they're wearing glasses. Kirstie Alley has superpowers. She can't
Wait,
stop
Kirstie
eating.
Alley is a Scientologist?
Oh yeah, she's
No
one of the big
fucking
ones.
way.
Absolutely, her Twitter feed, a lot of it is just like her going at that Leah Remini, the King of Queens chick who loves Scientology and has the show bashing it.
This bitch is whoa. That's
She's
so
got
crazy.
her own problems to sort out. Secrets. Wow. Yeah, Kirstie Alley is one of the last big celebrities they got.
That's funny. That just blew my mind. I had no idea.
Yeah. The guy from Going Clear, that Marty Rathbun,
Yeah.
who's in it, he went back.
What?
He turned heel.
He betrayed. Wow.
Yeah, and what's really fucked up is he offered, a bunch of counseling services for people who had left Scientology and were kind of on the Scientology Underground Railroad, trying to get out.
They'll like ruin your life. Like,
oh, they will come after you hardcore. They stalked this guy, this Marty Rathbun, for years. They went after him. So he had kind of a consulting thing helping people navigate the Scientology Underground Railroad. And now he's gone back and he's turned over all those files and data. So if you went to him for help, all of your shit is in the hands of David Miscavige. So, yeah, he recently turned heel.
he joined the Authority.
Yes, he did.
By God.
So now his blog is all about defending Miscavige, and yeah, it's wild. It's a crazy world.
Okay, another conspiracy theory. Do you think Chris Benoit and L. Ron Hubbard are hanging out together in hell?
I think they would be friends.
Yeah.
I think they'd get along.
Do you think L. Ron Hubbard indoctrinated Chris Benoit after death?
Well, Chris Benoit's brain was basically a pile of mashed potatoes by that point. So he would definitely be susceptible.
That's where he got
any
right
kind
after
of hypnotic training.
Right after Chris Benoit's soul left his body, L. Ron Hubbard's ghost just swoops in and gives it a big old fucking bear hug.
Mm-hmm.
Like, join my tribe.
I got your thetans now. But
what do they believe happens when you die?
Reincarnation. You come back.
Oh, yeah? Oh, that's not too bad.
Yeah, because there's a thing in Scientology called the Sea Org, which is basically like their clergy. So this is for the most hardcore Scientologists in the world. So they bring in they'll have you sign these contracts as literally a 6 or 7 year old, like a child. You'll sign this contract, And the contract states that you belong to Scientology for 1 billion years.
Mm-hmm.
Billion with a B. But if your whole belief system is the world is trillions of years old, then 1 billion years is like a cell phone contract.
Yeah, that's not too bad.
Yeah, that's all right. A bill, whatever. So
it's only like 100 lifetimes.
Yeah. So you signed this billion-year and then that's specified. You come back. Like, you come back. You come back to the Sea Org.
There's so much. You see, I have a feeling the next episode we record is just going to be me talking more about Scientology as I dig deeper and deeper into this rabbit hole.
TonyOrtega.org, the underground bunker, is the #1 news source for this stuff.
I'm there. Oh, wow.
He has been covering Scientology for at least 15 years, 20 years. He's the authority. He is the guy. He had a book signing in Cleveland that I went to a few years ago. I have a picture with this man on my Facebook.
That's great. Yeah. Oh man. All right. Well, it looks like we're at about 50 minutes. Want to do some final plugs and such?
Cool. Let's do it. Do you have any dates to promote?
Let's see. My name is Jacob Barr, and you can find me in the next hour in my basement watching the live-action Power Rangers movie. So make sure to check that out. You can follow me on Twitter at KidWithTheHands, and I'm going to be doing some shows hopefully pretty soon in the Grand Rapids area. But that's
the original Power Rangers movie, or the one they put out very recently?
No, the new one that's supposed to be really bad. I'm gonna get really high and watch it, and I'm gonna have a great afternoon.
I've not seen that one. You can check me out on. I've been doing more Instagram these days. Instagram. Find me on Instagram at Dave Crumbley, DaveCrumbley. If you're in the Michigan, Ohio, let's say Indiana, Illinois, if you're in the Alaska region, if you're on Earth, June 21st, going to be a big comedy showcase at Hinsville, downtown Toledo, 8 p.m. Come check it out. My name's Dave Crumbley, he's Jacob Barr, and we will catch you next week.